Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Lloyd and I source cars for people on a professional basis. Although most of the cars I source are between £1,000 and £5,000, very often I've been asked to show something a little bit cheaper on the channel, and so I came up with No Budget Reviews, the series where we look at cars that you can buy in good condition with an MOT for under £1,000 and you can enjoy driving. We don't film this in an expensive manner, we don't use separate microphones, we don't use dual head tripods, we don't even use a DSLR, but we do have a lot of fun. Sometimes on No Budget Reviews viewers, we kind of come across a car that's very much the darling of the classic scene, and certainly these original Protons, known in Malaysia and some of the places of the Saga, are very much the darlings of the classic car scene at the moment, especially when one of them won Festivion Exceptional last July, owned by Mr. John Copeland. This is a later Proton though. This is a 1.5 SE Aeroback, which was the absolute top of the range when this car was registered in 1993. It's got all kinds of little luxuries on it, and the current owner has just fitted a motorcycle exhaust to it, or I should say that the previous owner to him fitted that. Apparently they couldn't find an exhaust for this car, which isn't too surprising, I suppose, considering how rare they are. It's done less than 30,000 miles, and the original owner was a lady who was disabled and got it on Motability, so it's still got some sort of Motability type things in it, and it even actually had an original car phone in it, which I will show you later. It's not in too bad condition. We're comfortably within No Budget Reviews territory with this car. The wheels aren't actually alloy wheels. You can see for close up here that they're actually steel wheels underneath there, but we won't take that away from it. They're quite rare in this kind of two-tone shade. This sort of came with the MPi facelift, or Iswara facelift, in around 1992. The look of this car is somewhat different from the original design. It was launched in 1985 in Malaysia and in 1989 in this country, and the car does not carry the Saga name. You hear these referred to as Sagas quite a lot, but there is no Saga name on this car. It was just a Proton 1.5 SE Aeroback. That was just what they were known as over here. The platform that this car is based on is something called the Mitsubishi Lancer Fiore, which was known in this country as the Colt, in other places as a Mirage. In fact, the dashboard in these British market versions is the same as the Lancer Fiore. The Malaysians got a different dash. I think it was because they had mostly cars with air conditioning, whereas we definitely never got any of those. The decadent luxury in here is things like a rev counter and a separate control for the rear wiper, and this 3-speed auto, and my goodness me, electric mirrors and electric windows with a sort of lockout feature. Dimmable instrument panel, the fog lamp switches down there. The controls are very haphazard in this car. They're not really very unified. You can see though, if you had the original Lancer Fiore, that's where the air conditioning would have been. Even in this top spec, I don't even think it was an option. That's not from this car. The original stereo is actually in the boot, but Caleb Burns' car doesn't have the code for it, so it has to stay in there. We do, however, though, have Huey Lewis in the News, which I won't be playing for copyright reasons. And what's underneath here? Ooh, what's the story? Morning Glory. Park Life. And some Blondie. Definitely cassettes, which would have been popular at the time that this car was registered. That is the reheater, with a reheated window. That is the hazard switch. They're very difficult to see actually when you're driving, and the little window on the switches is actually faded, so it's very hard to know what that does. You have to kind of know what it is, which is interesting. Seats are actually pretty good in this car, but a lot more comfortable than the ones in my old 1.3 GLS saloon, which was also a 93, but that wasn't nearly as luxurious as this. Not nearly as luxurious as at all. You didn't get a rev counter. You got power steering, which this car does have. There was no remote boot release, which this car has. You also didn't get the height adjustment for the seat. And even with seat height adjustment, my head is really too close to this roof. Not helped by the fact we've got this nice Webasto sunroof in here, which is quite useful. Very basic things like these sun visors actually have a ticket clip in them. Isn't that amazing? I don't think my secret mission document is going to go in the glove box, because I've had one of these cars, and yeah, no way. See if we can get it into here. Ah, perfect. There's no windy handle in the way, so excellent. That's a good time all round there. Right, let's get in the back, shall we? One of the things that is surprising about these cars, and this goes with the saloons as well as this Aeroback, is the fact that the rear legroom is quite poor. And when I lived in Malaysia for a few months in 2006 or 7, we used to go in these as taxi cabs. They're everywhere. And look, man of modest height, defeated by the lack of legroom. Got rear mat pockets though on here, and just a nice sort of quality trim finish. No rear armrests or anything like that, but it doesn't feel too bad. We've got windy windows in the back, but you know, why is that a surprise? This will be coming handy in a little while for doing something that I won't tell you now. I've even got a Haynes manual that shows the Aeroback because of those wheel trims. They actually did make these for this country until 1996. Although it says 97 on there, it was 96. There we are. There's a brochure which shows, again, an SE Aeroback like this one in a nice two-tone colour. Japanese technology, Malaysian style, indeed. Other delightful things in here. There we go. Now the GLS, I had a GLS, but mine was a saloon. Let's see if that's actually in there. The Aeroback started with the GE, and then the GL, GLS, and then the SE. Later on, there was also an SL Aeroback. Let's have a look at the saloons. There's a GLS saloon, like the one that I had. Started with the GE. That was nothing really. Look at those. Basic steel wheels. GL got interesting wheel trims on mine. Mine had the GLS, which I don't personally think is as good, and then of course the SE. Yeah, much prefer sort of this and you know, all these the luxury features. Yes, I like luxury features, viewers, as you know. Some of you will just want the 1.3 GE, but that's not really how it goes on this channel. Right, see how proud they were that we have multi-point fuel injection and a catalytic converter. We can pop it with the boot release, but I'm going to use the key. There we go, that should be okay. It's quite heavy, this boot, for some reason. That's the original stereo, which there is no code, so Caleb owns his car's not using it at the moment. We've got L plates everywhere for some reason, I don't know why. There we go, lift it up, and there we are. Quite a nice sort of looking spare tyre in there. Easy enough to load. We've got this sort of cutout at the back to be able to get things in and out. The sill on the saloon is a little bit high actually in comparison with this, and those tend to leak water. This one doesn't though, which is nice. Nice height as well to be able to reach up and close it. And we get a rear wiper as well, viewers. Isn't that terribly exciting? Right, let's have a look at this amazing ball of fire, the 1.5 engine. Thank you to the original owner of the car for the bonnet prop, which is missing on this car. So here we go. Various names for this engine. It started life as a Mitsubishi Orion engine in the late 70s, I think. Proton then called it the Magma, I think after 87. Then it was called the Mega Valve because it then got 12 valves for about 1991. And then known as the MPi engine after that, although still badged as a Magma for some reason. Very proud of the fact that it's electronic control unit and multi-point fuel injection in this car. Mitsubishi logos everywhere, as you can see there, and then the colour is reddish blue and grey silver. Reddish blue, not reddish blue. Lots of lovely Malaysian stickers here as well. Yeah, pretty easy to work on. It is a cam belt engine. Use a lot of contemporary Hyundai models as well, actually, this. They're very reliable, and the electronic control system on them seems pretty hard wearing as well, so that is excellent. Right, it's time to go for a little spin, I think, viewers. Right, viewers, time for a little spin. I must say it's a very, very easy car to drive with this automatic gearbox. It just kind of whirs away. It's only a 3-speed auto anyway, so I'm not exactly going to have the quietest journey. And I'm going to have the window open and the sunroof at the moment because, well, it's a bit warm today. And yes, as you can see, I've been out in the sun myself, and I didn't wear suntan lotion, and my lady wife is not very happy with me, but never mind. So coming out of a little roundabout, it feels quite sprightly actually. This engine's got something like something like 85 horsepower. The 1.3 had about 77 horsepower. With the carbs that this car was originally launched with, it would have been a little bit different, but yeah, this is about 85 horsepower, but not that different actually in power, really. I remember Chris Goffey driving one of those many, many years ago, and he said that it was claimed the 1.5 like this had a lot more torque than a 1.3, but having owned a 1.3 and also driven a 1.5, I don't know really, they seem kind of similar to me. Because this car's only done 29,000 miles, it feels all very together. I know that Caleb has done a fair bit of work on this to make it into sort of a daily driving condition. And yes, it was only £800, which means it's firmly within no budget reviews territory, this car. Seems very well behaved actually in traffic, much better behaved than mine was. Mine just really didn't behave particularly well. If you came up to some lights or something, it might sort of just splutter and things. This is absolutely fine. I confirm the stats working just fine in this car. It's actually also more comfortable. Not only is there a seat height adjuster on here, you didn't get on the GLS models, but also the seat's generally just a little bit nicer, a little bit more supportive and a bit wider, which I can definitely feel. Maybe if this is the spec I'd actually had in the one that I bought many years ago, I would have been a bit more sort of enamoured with it. It was, you know, I found it a little bit sort of hard to deal with really in many ways. But this seems just fine. I've managed to get myself a nice comfortable driving position in this, though my head is brushing the roof, so just due to the sunroof I think. This sunroof actually works, unlike the one that I had, which didn't function properly. It's probably because it was one of those old pop-up ones and it had been sealed up for some considerable time. Let's now take it on a bit of motorway and let's see what happens, viewers, because it could be, well, entertaining is the phrase I think I'd probably use. Apparently though it's okay at 70, so what we'll do, we'll take it up, we'll put up our electric window and we'll see what happens. Very, very close to the M275 here, but it has only got a sort of 60 limit, 50 and then a 60, so maybe not right up to there, but we'll see. Certainly with this ridiculous motorcycle exhaust on it, it gives it more of a raspy tone it would have had anyway. Close the sunroof a little bit. Windy, 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 windy sunroof, windy sunroof. There we go. Put that in there. Okay. Turn up the fan. Oh, it works. Excellent. No air conditioning, of course. You only got that in places like Malaysia, which of course you need because it's weather like this virtually all the time. I think we're in third already, so when we go kind of up to 60, what we're just going to get is more noise, which, well, you might either like that or you won't. It's a bit drony. Yeah, it's very, very drony. Right, 60. Yeah. I think I'll just open some more vents in here. There we go. Open the vents, open the vents. Yes, it's better. Yeah, it's alright. It's not the worst I've had. Just got to remember as well the indicator's on the right hand side in this. I think someone's going to try to pass me actually. So we'll just move over and let them do that because they can brake more if they want. I should not. I should be a responsible motorist. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Driving along a motorway in a 1.5 Proton from 1993 with an automatic gearbox. A pleasant experience, viewers. So viewers, the good old first generation Proton, is this something you should consider with your hard-earned budget of up to £1,000? Well, the thing is that you only really have to look at who uses this on a daily basis. The owner of this car, Caleb, he uses this on a daily basis. Steph, my driver classic, uses her 1.5 that you would have seen on the Furious Driving channel as well on a daily basis. They are very suitable to that, particularly in this sort of more luxurious form, which has better seats and just a few more sort of modern amenities. They didn't all come with power steering and high adjustable seats. Yeah, I'm just as enamoured now as I was when I had my 1.3 GLS Saloon in 2017. I much prefer this one though. This is far more kind of me. I'm not quite sure about that colour though. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed for watching this episode of No Budget Reviews. Thank you so much indeed to Caleb for letting me drive this car. And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below. And we'll see you again soon for more low-cost motoring.